Right. So which of the following combination represent only the services on the internet? So you want to select out of these answers, what would be the services of the internet? Right? Services means only the services, not other than that. Right? For example, you say we'll get it fourth one. Remote access, search engine, streaming of media, web browsers. So what do you think? Is it remote access? Is it service search engine or streaming of media? So you just think about the remote access. Is it a services of the internet?
No, sir.
No. Then what about the search engine?
Yes.
What about the streaming of media?
Yes.
What about the web browsers?
Yes.
No. See, in a web browser means what? Web browser. It's just to interface between the web client and the web server. So actually we use the web browser to access the internet. That is different matter. But what they ask, services, only the services of the internet. That means, right, by using internet, what kind of services you can get, right? By using
Yes, sir.
internet. So web browser, it's an application, right? It's not a service, right? Internet services mean email is an internet service, right?
Okay,
File
sir.
sharing. File sharing is an internet service, something like that, right? Because in order to access, for example, just think about the web email, webmail, Yahoo, Gmail, and all. Those are webmail emails, right? Webmail, we say they're webmails. So these all are through, right? We do through the internet. So that's what it's under services of the internet, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
web browser, right? It's not a internet services, right? We can't say the web browser is a service, one of the services of the internet. No, that is wrong. So web browser is an interface. So just to act as an interface it's a bridging between the web client and the web server. That's how we are defining the web browser. So because of the web browser, this is wrong. On the other hand, the streaming of media, yes, through the internet we can do streaming, online streaming. So it's a kind of a services from the internet, right? We are getting search engines. Yeah, search engines also, it's one of the services through the internet. For example, we have Google, Bing, right? So Yahoo, there are some search engines, right? And the remote access, of course, it's a kind of a services from the internet. So most of the companies, right, if they want to connect to the VPN and all, right, they go through the remote access, right? We say that even in the within the company. So if you are IT department, if you want to access the some other department computers, right, to troubleshoot, so you can do as a remote access, but you should have kind of a internet facility, right? It is actually we don't need to have an internet facility for the remote access in the company level because we are all in the same network. So then it's on the LAN. But actually that if you are at home, right? So you work as a mobile user, then definitely you should have a remote access like a VPN connection. We have SSL certifications and all. Okay, so in under this line, so because of the web browsers, so we can't get this as a correct answer. So we can ignore this one, right? Okay, let's move to the second one, the third one. File sharing Is it an internet services?
Yes.
Yeah, because through the internet you can share your files. For example, just think about the Google Drive. Google Drive
Yeah.
you can share, right? Up to normal in the every Gmail account you will have a 15 GB free capacity. We call them as a Google Drive, right? So whatever we can put into there and we can share with, right, with colleagues. So that's how the file sharing happen. Even just you think about some FTP servers, file transfer protocol. For example, we have normally in industry we use FileZilla. FileZilla is a industry use software, right? So these software we can buy. We have to buy it, right? We have licenses, right? So when you get the file share account, right? So FileZilla account, right? We can share files, folders, whatever the document with corporate sector or other our stakeholders, right? That's how it works, right? So search engine. What about this HTML code? Is it on the services of the internet?
No.
No, HTML is a hypertext markup language. So it's a language, it's a web language, right? So you use HTML to develop some software, the web developer application, for example, web pages. By using HTML, you can create static web pages, even the dynamic web pages, right? So
Yes.
it's not an internet service. It's a one particular web language, HTML, very old web language. Still they are using. So because of the HTML code, this will be wrong. This is wrong. The file sharing is yes, remote access is yes, and the search engine also there, right? And let's move to the second one. Here, email, of course, it's under internet service. About the file share, yes, it is also under internet service. Streaming of media, yes, it is also under internet service. But the web browser, it's not the services of the internet. So because of that, we cannot get this as a correct answer. So let's look at first one. Email, of course, yes. File sharing, yes. Remote access, yes. Streaming of PDF, yes. So what would be the correct answer?
First one.
Yes, first one. So did you understand why those other three answers are not matching? The reason.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's move to the 29th question. Consider the following list rendered by the web browser. We have a science, maths, and English. Right? Which of the following HTML tags are required to create above list? So this is the list, right? And we use under this list we use bullets. Some list we can use numbers, So
Yeah, sir.
these are so list normally list is we have two kind of list. We have unordered list, ordered list. Unordered list and ordered list. Ordered list. Right? So that's how the list is defined. Right? Ordered list, unordered list. Unordered list, it's defined UL. Right? Right. So which of the following HTML tags are required to create above list? So you want to create this one. What do you think? What would be the answer? It's the first one, second one, third one, or fourth one?
Fourth one.
Fourth one. Why is that? What is the reason? Reason behind is that UL means unordered list. Yes. So you are going to have a UL. Under UL, what you are going to do? You create a list. Right? So then this all, remember, unordered lists, you can't have numbers. It's bullets. Ordered list, definitely you will have numbers. Right? That means OL. Right? OL. Right. Right. Can you see the board? Can you see the board, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. Which of the following statements related to the web page development are correct? So this is regarding web page development. Sas, what do you mean by the web page? How do you define the web page? Can you elaborate on this? Web page. So if someone asks what do you mean by web page, what would be the answer? Web page is nothing but it's a collection of right electronic documents. That's it. Electronic documents. Right? Web page is a collection of electronic documents, nothing but. And so you can navigate right around these electronic documents by using, we call them as hyperlinks. Hyperlinks, you can navigate hyperlinks to visit one page to another, one web page to another, one web page or one web content to another web content. That's also possible. Another web content. Right? Collection of electronic documents. You can navigate hyperlinks to visit one web content to another web content. So this is all are electronic documents, right? Understand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So then if this definition is like this, what about the definition of website? How do you define the website? So what are the things come into your mind if someone asks about website? How do you define it? How do you elaborate? How to explain that?
Collection of electronic.
Collection of electronic documents or web pages, right? Website has a collection, right? Right? Website has a collection. collection of web pages to form a we call them to form a business logic, right? Whatever the business logic, if you want to define it, if you want, right, you can elaborate through the website. So website has a collection of web pages. So normally one web page is just an electronic document, right? Just an electronic document, right? Electronic document. But if you say website, you have many web pages. Normally, in a website, we have in a web page, we have two kind of web pages, right? We have a static web page and dynamic web page. Static and dynamic, right? Static web pages means the web pages which is not changing. It's a static. We say that permanent, right? It's called static. The dynamic is, it's dynamically changing, right? That means web pages, you can change it, you can upload it, right? So there are a lot of stuff there in here, dynamic web pages. Normally, the most of the website, they go for dynamic web pages because, you should change the content time to time. You should add add some images, for example, videos and all, right? So, for example, newsletters and all. So some related documents in your business, you have to upload it to the website. Then only it will be updated. The website should be up to date. So for that, we use for dynamic web pages rather than static web pages. Static web pages, of course, these static web pages are, very, very, old fashioned, right? But still we use, right? Still we use because most of the website, we call them as an information website, right? Information website is nothing but the website, right? We have just couple of information, for example, organization structure, the history, and what board of directors, and vision and the mission, and there are some basic information, right? That should uh, elaborate those things into the general public, right? Those information put it to this kind of a static website rather than in a dynamic website. Normally, for example, we say ikman.lk, it's a dynamic website, right? ebay.com, it's a dynamic website, right? For example, amazon.com, it's a dynamic website. The web pages are changing time to time, right? Very frequently. So static web pages never change, right? If unless you are deliberately changing the pages, the content, it's not changing time to time. It's a static, right? It keeps like it forever, something like that. Need to understand these things?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. So, because you should have some knowledge about the website, what do you mean by the web page, what do you mean by website, what do you mean by navigations and all, right? You should have, because those are the syllabus content. So, okay. So, web page development. So, can you tell me who are the persons who develop the web pages? Right? How do you call them, those folks? How do you call them? How do you call them? Normally we say that, right? Web developers, okay, web developers. Web developers are the professionals who develop the website, right? Who manage the website, who control the website. Web developers, right? Or web designers, web designers. Web design. Nowadays, these jobs are very specific. We have front end developers, we have back end developers, right? We have a QA tester, right? We have a lot of special areas are there. Front end developers, they create interfaces and all those kind of all. Back end developers, they create databases, they link to each other, modules and all, right? So that's how the same job role, but and even the QA developers, QA engineers. QA engineers means the quality assurers, right? So they are checking each and every code. They are debugging, right? We call them as a debug. We are debugging the most of the time QA engineers are checking the errors of the whatever the code that they have developed, because before implementation we have to test it. So whatever the testing should be fast. We have a lot of kind of a testing for so unit testing, component testing, uh, we have a system setting, subsystem testing. We know that we have studied on under system development life cycle. We are talking about those information. So these QA testers basically test whatever the codes. Is there any errors, right? So they will rectify it, right? Am I clear to you these
Okay, sir.
things?
Yes, sir.
Right. The content shown in the dynamic web pages may vary according to the user input on time. See, now you can answer it, whether it is, so I just teach you. Is it correct or wrong? The
Correct.
content, why you are saying correct? Content shown in the dynamic web pages may vary according to the user input or time. Yes, because it's correct. Because dynamic web page, I said that it's changing. It's not a static,
Yes.
right? Whenever you change your input, it will appear output, right, as a new output. If you are changing the inputs, according to that, your output will become. And even according to the time you are changing some content of the web pages, right? We call them as those are dynamic web pages. Static web pages, you can't change information. It's a static. Even you can upload and those kind of things. Static means static, right? It's like a very stick, right? What about B? Dynamic web pages are created only using HTML.
Wrong.
Wrong. No, HTML is just only one web development language. Most of the development language we use, JavaScript, no?
Yes.
JavaScript, we use VB script, right? We use ASP.NET, right? There are lots of web development tools and languages, right? We use those things. So because of that, this is wrong. Because dynamic web pages you can create in many ways. Not only HTML, but HTML is only one way. They are asking only no. So because of this keyword, this sentence is wrong. What about this one? See, web authoring tools can be used to create web pages. Is it correct or wrong?
Correct.
What do you mean by the web authoring tools? What does it mean? How you define that?
The tools that we can use for creating a web page.
Yeah, very good. So tools that you can use to create the web page. For example, we have in Java we have NetBeans, we have Eclipse, right? In a web authoring we have Dreamweaver, right? Those are web authoring tools. Dreamweaver, right? So different languages they have some tools, web authoring tools, right? So then what would be the answer?
A and C
A and
only.
C only, this one. Did you understand this?
Yes, sir.
All right. So what about 31? Which of the following tags be used to HTML character formatting? Character formatting means you want to change the characters formatting. For example, Italy, right? for example, bold, for example, underline, right? Even the paragraph, that also possible, right? So what is this EA? Emphasize text. EA means emphasize the content. So this the content inside the typical display italic, right? EA. Emphasize text. That is about EA. So it means that your text is like a italic, right? That's called EM. Right. Emphasize text. So what would be the answer for 31? What do you think? 31 answer?
First one.
Sorry? I can't hear you. මොකක්ද answer
First
here?
one, sir.
First one. Italy bold underline EM. Paragraph list. List won't be there, no? This should come. This is wrong, right? Because of this. So 4 is not coming. BR also not coming. Break. No? It's not a character formatting. And even the paragraph also not a what? Character formatting. So answer would be 1. We'll check whether 31 answer. Yes, 31 answer is 1. So because we should know why these are wrong. Because EM means that is also empathize text, but it also, right, like a italic. So this is regarding character formatting. What do you mean by character formatting? That means it's a, if you have a characters, right, characters, by using these things you can change it, whatever. That's what, right? That's the meaning. right? Character formatting. Right. So the paragraph is not a character format, right? Paragraph is just a paragraph. You are writing the paragraph. It's just a tag. It's not a character formatting tag, right? So because of that, it's wrong. Here also P is there. Here also here list is there. List is we are going to, develop the list. So list is not a character formatting thing. So only the character formatting thing is italic, bold, underline, and the EM, right? Emphasize text. Are you clear on this?
Yes, sir.
Right. What about this one? Which of the following is the correct posture to use when using a computer?
Second one.
Yeah. So normally, so this is like we call them what? These are best practices, no? So we
Yes.
call as ergonomics, no? Ergonomics. We have ergonomics concept in IT department. So ergonomics means like when you are using computers, what kind of a best practices you have to follow? Best practices. You have to follow best practices. Right? Best practices. So if you are not following, for example, let's say if you are not following these best practices and the guidelines, so while keep on using computers over and over again, or some duration you are using computers frequently, you will end up with the, we say, the RSI, repetitive strain injuries, right? Repetitive strain injuries. These are injuries that occur due to, right, unethical way of, not unethical, right, due to not following the best practices, right? For example, you are not seating out your computer, right, correct posture. So you have a, normally when you seat out, you have to correct posture, no? Normally we have 90 degrees in your backbone should be there like this in the chair, right? So you will not end up with a back pain, right? So another one, if you have a, if you are keep on, look at the monitors. In some jobs you have to, 24 hours you have to look at the monitors. Then you will end up with the eye strain, right? So there are some best practices. How do you avoid the eye strain? For example, time to time you can look at the distant object and come. You can do some refreshment and come. And normally with more less than one hour, you have to stay with the computer, and you can go around and come back and again start to work, something like that, right? And you can use goggles and all. You can use anti-glare eye screen. There are a lot of prevention method, right, by eliminating the eye strains. So you must know these things. So these are economics concept. You have to understand these economics, because when you are using computers over and over again, right, there are a lot of symptoms coming, right? We say that there are RSI, repetitive strain injuries, right? And these injuries are long term and the short term, right? Some injuries long term and some injuries are in short term. For example, right? Most of the time, IT guys are victim of unresolvable headache. They are having headache. That headache never release, right? So the headache is there all the time, most of the time, because of the pressure and all, and especially eye strain. Eye strain, straight away lead to the keep on, headache long term. You will end up with the victim. So be careful when you use computers, right? So these are called RSI, repetitive strain injuries. We have to eliminate our injuries, lot of time. You have to protect it. All right.
Okay, sir.
Oh. How many bit per second are required to represent the 32 color? 32 colors. 32 colors. Bit per biscuit. BPP. So you are going to represent 32 colors. $32. How this 32 comes? 2 to the power
5.
5. Check whether that. Yes, correct. Because 2 to the power 5 is 32. 2 into, we have 2 to the power 0, 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 4, and 2 to the power 5. 2 to the power 5 is 32, 2 to the power 4 is 16, this is 8, this is 4, 2, 1, 0. That's how the numbers are coming. So how many bits per biscuit? We say that BPP. Right? If we have 32 colors, how we are going to define it? Right? Let's say you have 64 colors. What would be the how many bit per biscuit?
6.
Sorry?
6 to 2 to the power 6.
Yeah, 2 to the power 6. Correct. 2 to the power 6 is 64. So that's how it comes. All right. What about this one? 34. What would happen to an image? Its resolution decrease. For example, I say resolution is we say 768 into 1024. Right? So there are some resolutions, So
Yes.
1024 into 1092 something like. There are some resolutions. So if you have more resolution, that means you will have more pixels in your images. More pixels. More pixels means more quality, right? More quality of the image, which is defined by the pixel. So if you have more pixels, you will get good quality features, because the pixels are higher means your images are good quality. So what they ask, what would happen to an image if it is resolution is decreased. So due to some reason, right? Due to some reason, this might be discrete, right? Quality and the file size of the image increases. Is it true or false?
False.
Why you are saying false?
Not increasing. Decreasing.
Yeah, it's not increasing, correct. It should be decreasing. If it is a decreasing, that would be the correct, because the question is, right, after image resolution is decreased, what would happen? So because of this increasing thing, we will remove this and we will mark this is not a question. Sorry, this is not an answer. Quality and the file size of the image is decreases. Okay, we keep that for the moment. Quality increases while no, quality can't increase. So because of that, it's wrong. And here it's wrong. Quality decreases while the file size of the image increases. No, that's also wrong. So what would be the answer?
Second answer.
Yes, answer would be the quality and the file size of the image decreases. Yes. Right. Which of the following statements are true? Pascal is an example of a high-level programming language. What do you mean by the high-level programming language? High-level? What do you mean by the high-level programming language? Any idea? Then programming chapter එකක්ම තියෙනවානේ high-level programming language. The program written in natural English. The program, right? The program written in natural English. Natural English, which is called, right, high-level program. Am I clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Right. It's a natural English. For example, what are the high-level programming language? Java, C, C++, right? Python, right? These are high-level programming language, or we can say even these are all object-oriented programming languages. Not like functional programming languages. It's very difficult, right? All right. Okay, Pascal is an example of high-level programming language. Is it true or false?
True.
Yes, it is true. High-level language programs are easier for the programmers to understand than low-level programming language. What is that? High-level language program are easier for the programmers to understand than lower-level language program. Is it correct or wrong?
Correct.
Right. Why you are saying it is correct? What's the reason behind that? There should be a reason. Why it should correct? දැන් correct විතරක් කියලා වැඩක් නැහැ මේක. මේක ඇයි correct වෙන්නේ නැත්තම් ඇයි correct වෙන්නේ නැත්තේ කියන එක පහදන්න පුළුවන් වෙනවා. You should explain.
O-level language.
Yeah. What? No idea?
No, sir.
It's all right. See, high level language program is easier because what is other low level language? It's like this. High level language, here low level. You know, low level languages are languages which is used for binary language. Used by binary language. Right? Low level languages. You should have a knowledge about the binary languages. High level languages are nothing but high level languages are mostly using, you know, this even in the bookshop and all. Right? They have the high level languages, even you can buy it, no? They in a bookshop, they are going to, you know, write the CD, and for example, C++, Java, like, you know, 200 rupees, something like that. So that those are software, high level languages, software. Right? By using high level languages. So how do you write from by these by using these languages? You use English language, natural English language, right? But in the low level language, very difficult. They use assembly code, right? Assembly code. Right? Or the binary language or binary code. For example, binary code means you either use 0 and 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1. Right? This is about low level language. In the assembly code, they use some level of high level. For example, add instruction something. Right? We have a mul. Right? Did you understand these two differences?
Yes, sir.
Because high level languages mostly use what? Natural?
English.
Natural English. සහ high level language වලින් කරන්නේ හරිද? මම දැන් සිංහලෙන් කිව්වොත් මේ high level language එකෙන් high level languages වල ඒගොල්ල natural English වලට සමාන විදිහට තමයි code කරන්නේ. එතකොට it's easier to user friendly දැන් කාලෙත් එක ගත්තම. දැන් ඉස්සර තිබ්බේ low level languages. They are very difficult, very hard to know, right? Very hard to study, right? You should have more spaces. Right? Lot of problems comes when you talk about the low level languages. But high level languages are very easier, user friendly languages. All right?
Okay, sir.
All right. Okay, a compiler translates the high-level language program into machine language instruction. What is that meaning? What do you mean by the compiler? SAS? Any idea about the compiler?
That, yeah.
What? Compiler. Okay, I will tell like this. Right, you forgot since sometime. Assuming that, right, you write a program code. Right, this is called program code. Assume that you use language like we say Pascal. Even we say Java, anything, doesn't matter. Right, the program code. For example, I write small program code, right? We say Java, my first, right? This is the name of the programming what you are going to write, right? Then
Okay, sir.
here you can say integer a equal 10, integer b equal 10, a plus b equals c, system out println, system out println, answer is C, something like that, right? So this is the Java programming code. Just I have written, right? In this Java programming code, I use natural English, and I use, assuming that I use a text editor called Notepad. It's a basic text editor in our computer, no, Notepad. All right. So is this understandable by computer, sir? Is this understandable? These things
Yes, sir.
computer can understand?
Yes, sir.
No, Baba. How computer can understand?
Computer language.
කම්පියුටරේ මේව මොකුත් දන්නේ නැහැ. කම්පියුටර් ලැන්ග්වේජ් එක කියලා දැන් මේක මේ source code එක මම කිව්වේ මේ notepad එකේ type කරේ කියලා. Right? You just enter
ඕක
into the
convert
notepad.
කරනවා.
Yes. එතකොට මේක කම්පියුටරේ දන්නේ නැහැ මේ language එක. මේක තමයි natural English. These are English word, right? So these things The CPU doesn't have any idea about these things, right? So what we are going to do, we have to convert this source code into the byte code. We are saying that source code converting into the source code converting, right, into the byte code, which is ones and zero, which is ones and zero, right? So the in order to, right, make this happen, in order to change, convert the source code into byte code, we use translators. Or either we can say rather translators or rather compilers. So compiler is nothing but we can use compilers to change the natural language English, the paragraphs and all, converted into the, right, binary language. All right. Right. So translator is that you are translate source code. Here we use compiler. After compiling, you will get bytecode. Remember, in a compiler, compile this source code at once, right? At once. එකපාරම තමයි compile කරන්නේ. So what is the output would be after translating or compiling the source code into the bytecode, you will get bytecode. Bytecode means the code which can understand by the computer with the binary format, right? So that is about bytecode. So after outputting through the compiler, you will get a bytecode. And remember, in order to make this bytecode, there should not be any errors. Any errors during the compiling stage, you can't generate any syntax errors. We call them as a syntax errors. We have many errors type, syntax errors, semantic errors, right? We call them as a logical errors, right? Some errors are there. We have exception. Those exceptions are mostly in out of, there are compile time exceptions and the runtime exceptions, right? Anyway, the source code, right? When you are writing the program, you should obey the rules and regulation within that particular programming language. According to the rules and regulation in that particular languages, you have to develop your source code. So once only, right, without any errors, only this source code will be converted into the bytecode as a one particular file. Then only after you generating the bytecode, right, what you can do, you can execute this, right? Or you can run this. You can, you can get the output, you can get the outcome. That's how it works. Right?
Okay, sir.
So remember, compile source code into the bytecode at once, not line by line, right? But before converting the source code into the bytecode, the programmer should, find and clear all errors in that particular source code. There should not be any errors, right? There should not be any errors. If you have errors, you have to fix it. After fixing all errors, that means when the source code is very clear and all lines are, all the statements are, map, all statements are comply with the language syntax and all, then only you can develop as a bytecode. So then after you developing the bytecode, very easy, you can execute this program. Once you execute this program only, you will get the outcome. So by using it, by executing, we use interpreters. It's the opposite of the translate, not the opposite. It's a, after compiling, you interpreting. That means you will get interpreted by the source code. All right.
All right, sir.
Okay, now the C is correct or wrong?
Correct.
Compile and translate a high-level language program into machine language instruction. Yes, which can be understand by the computer. Remember, every time the object code only understand by the computer. Nothing else. Source code can't understand by the computer. That's why we use translators or the interpreters. Interpreter does major role, right? It does major role because it converting whatever you are line. Let's say you wrote 500 statements, 500 statements. It's a big amount. Normally it takes some time. 500 statement, like 1 to 2 days at least, right? Your whole effort of 1 to 2 days, right? So if you have that kind of a statements, before you run the program, you have to make it as you convert it as an object code. So that's the purpose of the compile. And the purpose of the interpreter is opposite of that, right?
Right, sir.
All right. So what would be the answer for this? 35?
All A, B, C.
Yes, Pascal is an example of a high-level programming language. That statement is valid statement. So let's say this one. Let's see this one as well. High-level language programs are easier for a programmer to understand lawyers. That also possible. It is true. And the compiler translate the high-level program into the machine language instruction. Yeah, that also correct. So A, B, C all are correct. So answer should be 4. All right. So what about the 36? Consider the following pseudocode segment. Right? Begin. You are going to read units. You are reading the units. If the units, let's say if you have read units like 60, this is the condition. If units less than or equal 50, then what you are going to do? Amount equal, right? Unit multiply 1, right? If it is less than 50. If it else if it is a greater than 50 and the 150, then you are going to calculate the amount 50 plus unit minus 50, again multiply by 2. Right. If it is not between 50 to 150, you are going to implement the amount 250 plus unit 150 multiplied by 5, end if. That also possible. Okay. Question is, what would be the output if the value 175 is our input to the variable unit. For example, here you put the variable unit called 175. So amount is what now? 175. Amount is 170. Right. Right. So here unit. You are going to read unit mean this is 175. So first time the unit less than or equal 175. Less than or equal 50. It is true or false if you put 175. Here. Now you are putting 175 value to the unit.
$176.
No, I am asking if unit less than or equal 50, then no, because now unit is 175. So this condition is not there because of that we are coming here. Then checking 50 to 150. No, it's still what? We have 175. Right?
Right, sir.
Then else. Then here we have one what's the amount we got normally? We have 175, no? Yes, 175.
Yes, sir.
So it comes under here, right? Because unit less than or equal 50. My unit amount is 175. Is this condition is true or false?
True.
අයියෝ මොනවාද කියවන්නේ පොඩ්ඩක් බලන්නකො unit is 175. මෙතන unit less than or equal 50 ද මේක true ද
No.
මේක true වෙන්නේ කොහොමද මේ තියෙන symbol එක less than මේ පැත්ත less than කට ඇරිච්ච පැත්ත තමයි ලොකු greater than මේවා මේවා මතක් කරන්න පුළුවන් මේවා පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕන හරි එතකොට unit එක 175. So if I am applying the same 175 unit here, so you are checking this first condition, unit less than or equal 50. So see, unit is 175. It's not a less than or equal 50. So it ignore this. It will, escape from this level. And it comes a else part. In a else part, checking whether its unit is greater than 50 or less than or equal 150. No, still not, because my one is 175. It's beyond 150. So it's beyond, because of it's beyond 150, it comes here, else part. So else part, what we are going to do, 250 plus 175 unit amount, 150 multiplied by 5. So first of all, we can reduce this. 175 minus 150 is 25. 25 into 5, 150, 125, no? 125 into 250, 375. Answer is what?
375.
Did you get it? This one?
Yes, sir.
මේ කොහොමද ආවේ කියලා තේරුණාද ඔයාලට?
ඔව්, sir.
Right. What would be the output if the user input 4, 5, 2, minus 1, one after the other for the pseudocode? So if you get like this, you have to do like this. මෙහෙම කරන්න. දැන් මේ වගේ line එකක් ආවට පස්සේ මේව කොහොමද execute කරන්නේ? Right? Very easy. You can put the values here. Right? So here you can have a number value. Right? Number value is there. So you are going to enter the number. So you should have x value here because we are find the x here. So very first time, right? We have a terminal also. Terminal. We keep that variable as it. So we have a number variable, we have x variable, and we have a terminal variable. Anyway, we are going to find the x value. Okay, we go through. Right? Number variable, very first time, here, enter number, get number. First of all, we do like this. Terminal is 1. We put the 1 here. Right? Then x is 0 here. Right? Repeat. Right? So you are going to repeat the statement. This statement you are going to repeat. Display the enter number. Okay. And get num. Enter number means here. 4යි. Right? පළවෙනි පාර 4යි. Then get num. 4 ගත්තා. 4 බලනවා greater than the x ද කියලා. Yes. Then you are going to mix it. How we are going to mix this? Number equal x. So we have number now 4. X also 4. Now we have like this. Right? We have like this. It's all right. Right. So end if until the number equal terminal. Number is now 4. Terminal is minus 1. So it's still not equal. Right? So until it's not. So you again go to here. Enter the second number. What's the second number? 5. Right? In the 5, again same thing. Check whether, right? Number less than x. If number greater than x. Now what's the number? Number is 5. X is what? 4. Is it true or false? This one. But again, make a statement take a through the false the may values sorry. Make a කියන්න බෑද මොකද වෙලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. If number greater than x ද කියලා අහන්නේ. දැන් number එක 4යි. Greater than the x. 4 විශාලද 5ට වඩා නෑ. වැරදි. එහෙනම් මේක ආයි අපි number එක x වලට දාන්නේ. Right? එහෙම දාන්න. ඊට පස්සේ ආයි 2 enter කරනවා. number එක 2. Right? number එක 2 enter කරනවා. 2 enter කරලා බලනවා. දැන් number එක 2යි. greater than x ඇවිල්ලා 4යි. Right? Then it's checked now. Right? Here number 2, x is 5. No, it's wrong. Right? Because 2 is greater than 5. 2 is not, sorry. Here we have number is 2. 2 is greater than 5. No, 2 is less than 5. So this is false. Right? False means you are not going to execute this. Again, last one, you are going to put the value, right, -1. Right. So here if you put -1, what will happen? Right? If you put -1, right, the number is -1. It's greater than x. X is 5 now. Right? So we have number -1, right? X is 5. -1 greater than 5. No.
False.
False. That means we are straight away come here. Check whether here until num is equal terminal. Yes, now num is -1. Number also -1. So because that we are going to end the program. So while we are end the program, display x. X should be 5, no? 37. Oh, 37. මෙතෙන් 37 4. Right. This high the 37 උත්තරේ බලන්න ඕන. 37 ඇවිල්ලා 4. හරි. අපි මේකත් කරමු. මේ පේපරේ අද මේ ප්‍රශ්න තුනම ඉවර කරලා බලමු. 38. Consider the following statement regarding the computer programs. Right? Then make it through the නැද්ද කියලා බලන්න. You have to select the through or not. Right? First one, variable. Variable can contain different values at different time. Is it true or false?
True.
Yes, it is true. Very good. Reserved words are programming language or can be used to variable names in that language. Reserved words of the programming language can be used as a variable names in that language.
No.
No, you can't use. For example, we say this one, repeat. You can't create a variable called repeat. Right? Because repeat, even you can't create a variable called until. These are keywords. You know, every programming language, there are many keywords. So keyword is used to define something, but you can't use keyword into the variable names, identifiers, right? Those kind of things. That is impossible. No, you can use it, but it will generate an error. It will trigger an error, right? When it trigger an error, you have to correct it, right? In order to correct it, you should know what are the keywords in whatever the programming language. Every programming language has separate keywords, right? Language to language different. For example, Java language, they have separate set of keywords than Python language, right? All right. Then last, no, 31, 39. So we will compile this as well. See, we have a values what? Display the value. We want to find the value. Right? So they are given variables A, B, C. What are the values? A is 50, B is 30, and C is 70. Right? Very first time value is initiated as 0. We call them as this is initialization. Initialization means whatever the variable you can initialize by giving the default value or the very first value. We call them as initialization. Or sometimes we call them as a variable declaration. Variable declaration, and or we can say that variable definition. There are a lot of words are there, right? In programming language we can use. So same meaning, declaration, definitions, right? A, B, C value. Value is 0, A is 50, B is 30, and C is 70. So now we will go through the program. Okay, value is 0. If A greater than B, A 50 is greater than B. No, it's wrong. So we are not coming here. Right? So we come in else part straight away. Then C is value. What's the C? C is hatta. So as my knowledge, so it should like this, no? Because very first time it will jump here, no? Because A greater than B. No, A less than B, because A is 50. Wait. They are asking A, B, C value. Value is 0. Right? A is 50, C is 30, B is 30, C is 70. Right? Here what we are going to do, if A greater than B, oh, it's true now. So see, 50 is greater than B, greater than 30. Yes, 50 is greater than 30. That is true. If it is true, what we are going to do is come here. A greater than C. A is 50 greater than C. No, wrong. This is wrong. Then else part. Value is C. Should be 70, no? Yes. Right. $39. Yes, 39.4. Correct. ඒක තේරුණාද සාස්? Did you understand what I am doing? Oh, ඒක 4. Okay, last one, not the least. So here you have, we have A is there, and here X and X bar, right? This is OR gate plus we have X, B, X, B, right, X, B. equal 1. Right. So what would be the two respective value output at y? Two respective output at y. Right. So if you have like this, what you can do? So here, how do this one? What will happen here? X blah plus x is what? It's 1, right?
Yes.
A 1 b. So 1 should be no. So A B. Answer would be this one. Right? So you have to simplify this. That's how the simplification comes. So finally, you have to select respective output at y. So you have first one A like this, X, right? All right. මේක තේරුණාද?
Oh, sir.
හරි. එතකොට මේක තමයි උත්තරේ, right? හරි අපි දැන් මේ ෆස්ට් පේපර් එක කරලා ඉවරයි, right? අපි next class එකේදී අපි second paper එක කරමු. The second paper is ටිකක් අමාරුයි, right? It's harder, not like first paper. Right? There are many questions, right? Some essay questions, right? So you can see how many questions are there, right? We have to do everything. All right, Sahas, we will wind up the class, right? So I will
Okay,
send the
sir.
recording, right? So we will do
Okay.
another class. I think not this weekends, right? By next week. I think we
Okay.
have done 3 classes. We should do another class before this month.
Yes.
All right. Okay, take
Okay,
care.
sir. Good night, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
when do you have exam?
ICT Wednesday.
30? The 30th?
Yes, yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, then we will do the class on 28.
Okay, sir.
28, you are free, no?
Yeah.
Okay. Then we will,
Like this time.
yeah, like not this time, we will do a little bit earlier.
Okay, sir.
I will inform you.
Hi, sir.
You don't have classes no, on Monday, no?
Yeah.
Monday
Monday
classes
no
theater.
classes.
Okay, okay. Then we will do after school. Right, okay. All right, bye. Take care. Good night.
Bye, sir. Thank you, sir.